Today we have Susie, the scientific method scientist, joining us to help us have a better understanding of the scientific method and other concepts in science. How are you doing today, Susie?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, Susie, what are the super important steps of the scientific method?
There are 7 overall steps to the scientific method. These steps include make an observation, ask a question, create a hypothesis, develop an experiment, collect data, interpret results, report results.
That is quite the process. Would you mind elaborating on each of those? Us non-scientists don't really comprehend.
No problem. Why don't I just give you an example and follow through with the method? Say, just the other day you observed a video of Mentos and Coke. Step 1 is as easy as that. Step 2 asks a question. Now, after watching that video, you ask yourself, will that experiment work if I use Diet Coke? Next, we formulate a hypothesis. For those of you who do not know what a hypothesis is a proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. My hypothesis in this situation is along the lines of, if 5 grams of Mint Mentos are put into Diet Coke, then there will be a fountain of Coke extending outside of the bottle because there will be a chemical reaction. After formulating a hypothesis to base our experiment on, we continue into step 4 and develop the experiment. Developing the experiment includes 3 variables. An independent variable that is changed, in this case, we will change the type of Coke we use. A dependent variable, which in this case will be the type of reaction we get. And lastly, the controlled variable, the variable we won't be changing, will be the 5 grams of Mentos. Next, we will collect data. Collecting will be executing the addition of Mentos to Coke and Diet Coke and observing their reactions. After the data has been collected, we need to, step 6, interpret the results. We will analyze whether or not there was a difference in reaction depending on the different type of Coke used. Once we have analyzed the results, we will lastly report the results. We report the results by summarizing the entire experiment.
Geez, that was a lot. Bummed I forgot to take notes. If a hypothesis is confirmed, is it still called a hypothesis?
If a hypothesis is continually proven and the phenomenon always occurs under certain circumstances, it is known as a law. When there isn't always the solid evidence to explain, we call an explanation a theory, which is mainly a system of ideas meant to explain something based on general principles.
I can't believe I have never retained this information. Is there anything else important that I should know, Susie?
Of course! Everyone needs to know the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is a conclusion based on multiple premises. For example, inductive reasoning being a conclusion based on premises that are fact most of the time.
And there you have it, folks. Susie, the scientific methodist scientist.